Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep, going way beyond the headline numbers to talk about 3 super common metrics that can seriously mislead investors. You're going to see how just a little bit of extra digging can help you dodge some major investing traps.
So, think about it. Dividend yield, face value, promoter holding. You see these numbers all the time, right? But are they really telling you the whole story? We're about to find out how looking just one level deeper can make you a much savvier investor.
All right, first up, let's talk about something everyone loves, the dividend. I mean, getting that cash payout, it feels like a reward, doesn't it? But here's the question. Is a really high dividend yield always a sign of a healthy, growing company? Let's peel back the layers on this one.
So, at its core, a dividend is super simple. The company makes a profit, and it shares a piece of that pie with you, the shareholder. It's a very real thank you for investing your money with them. But the real story, the interesting part, is in the decision of how much to give away and how much to keep.
Okay, so picture this. A company has a pile of profits. It gets to a fork in the road. Path number 1, it can give that cash back to you, the shareholder, as a dividend. That's cash in your pocket right now. Path number 2, it can reinvest that money back into the business, to create new products, expand, and really try to make the company's stock price soar in the future. And check this out. This is a perfect real-world example. On one side, you've got Coal India. It's a stable, mature company. It pays out a big dividend, over 5%. But look at its share price over the last 5 years. It's actually gone down. Now compare that to InfoEdge, a tech company in a really competitive space. Their dividend, it's tiny, practically nothing. And why is that? Because they're pumping every penny they can back into growing the business. The result? Look at that share price. It's climbed significantly.
This isn't just some random idea. This is the core belief of one of the greatest investors ever. Warren Buffett's company has paid a dividend only once in more than 40 years. His logic is simple, but it's so powerful. If I can take $1 of profit and turn it into more than $1 for you by reinvesting it, why on earth would I just give you the dollar back?
So here's the bottom line on dividends. That cash payout feels great today, but it might be costing you a much bigger gain down the road. It's that classic battle between getting a little something now versus potentially a whole lot more later. Okay, so we've seen how a high dividend can be kind of a double-edged sword. Now let's tackle our second trap, what I like to call the face value fallacy. This is that really tempting idea that you can tell if a stock is cheap or expensive just by looking at its price tag. So let me ask you a question. Which is the better deal? A stock that costs 65,000 rupees a share or one that costs just 2.5 rupees? The answer is, well, it's a trick question. The price of one single share tells you almost nothing about how valuable the company actually is. And this right here is the perfect analogy. Think about it. What's more valuable, 10 grams of iron or 10 grams of gold? The weight is exactly the same, right? But the actual substance is what makes one way more valuable than the other. It's the exact same thing with stocks. The price per share is just the weight. It's totally irrelevant. The company itself, the substance, that's what really matters. So what is face value anyway? Honestly, it's just an old school accounting term from back when people had actual paper stock certificates. All it tells you is how many slices the company's initial pie was cut into. But whether you cut a pie into 10,000 slices or a million tiny slices, the size of the whole pie doesn't change. It's a completely arbitrary number that you can and absolutely should ignore. All right, let's get to our third and final trap. And this one is a biggie. It's all about promoter holding. Now, on the surface, seeing a high promoter holding number seems like a great sign of confidence. But there's a secret hidden in this number that can turn a good-looking investment into a real disaster. So the general rule of thumb, the one you hear all the time, is that you want to see the promoters, the founders and the owners, holding a big piece of the company. Usually anything above 40% is seen as a good sign. It shows they have skin in the game. But, and this is a huge but, if you stop your analysis right there, you could be making a massive mistake. So you're checking out a company and you see this. Promoter holding 57%. That's way over our 40% benchmark. Your first thought is probably, wow, the owners really believe in this company. It looks rock solid. But here is the killer question you have to ask. The one that separates the amateurs from the pros. How many of those shares are actually free and clear? And boom, here's the bombshell. In this real example, a staggering 82% of those promoter shares are pledged. What does that mean? It means they've been mortgaged. They're being used as collateral for a loan. This is often a massive red flag that the promoters are in some kind of financial trouble. They don't really have full control over those shares like the headline number makes it seem. This chart just shows you the shocking reality. That impressive 57% number, it's mostly an illusion. The vast majority of it, almost 47% of the entire company, is pledged. The actual free and clear stake that the promoters truly own is just a tiny 10%. And that paints a very, very different picture, doesn't it? And it doesn't even stop there. You also have to watch the trend. In this same company, you can see that the promoter holding is slowly but surely taking down over time. Now, that could mean they're being forced to sell shares, or maybe they're just losing confidence in their own business. Either way, that is not something you want to see. So, what have we learned from all this? Let's boil it all down into a really simple but powerful checklist you can use to avoid these traps and become a much smarter investor. Here it is, your new 3-step game plan. Number 1, question the dividend. Is it a reward or is it a sign that the company has run out of ideas to grow? Number 2, just forget about face value. It's a useless number. And number 3, dig into that promoter holding. Always check for pledged shares and look at the trend. And really, that's what this all comes down to. Being a savvy investor means understanding that the numbers you see on a screen, they're just the start of the conversation. The real value, the real insight, comes from looking beyond those numbers to find the actual story they're trying to tell.